Hey everybody, and welcome back to Midtown, USA. We've made it into mid-autumn, and you can see we've got some nice coloring going on here on the trees, and we've had a fair bit of work going on since we were last together. We went ahead and worked through day 5. We finished our mowing and our pelletizing, I guess, of our hay. It took all night and some of the following preceding day, yesterday, to get that done. In the end, we had about 180,000 liters of hay pellets. Now, I've been trying to think as to if I've gotten more yield off the hay pellets or if I would have gotten more yield off of the bales. I have to kind of think that I would probably have gotten a greater yield off of bales. But we'll talk about that more in a little bit. I'm here with our Great Plains cedar, and I'm right here. This is kind of the seed and fertilizer row. Let's go ahead and take a look what we got here. Of course, that's our bale barn. You'll see us pull our MR mixer up here constantly. So we've got here seed and fertilizer, and this is kind of the default fill points. Down here we've got liquid fertilizer. It's again kind of the bulk fill points. So these two are going to be your most expensive fill points. These silos, on the other hand, are configured to sell you seed and fertilizer in bulk. Therefore, they're going to be cheaper. So we're going to fill our cedar up from this particular silo today. We don't need to put too terrible much in it, but we're going to go ahead and fill it up. See, right now we are just under 5,000 liters, 85%. There you go. So $600 for 800 liters of seed. So if we look at the menu here, $800 for, or what was it, $600? $600, and we got just over 800 liters of seed. So the default in-game is $900 for 1,000 liters. So that's pretty much in line with if you were buying pallets of the default seed. Now, of course, if we go with our seed box here, we can get 1,620 liters for $1,000. So this is still a better deal than getting here from our bulk silo, but still it is a decent deal and rather convenient to not have to worry about getting a bunch of seed pallets or fertilizer pallets if you use these right here. So I want to thank CCS 101 for telling me about those. You saw in a video where we used the other one, and I must have made a comment about how expensive they were. He mentioned that they were cheaper if we went to the ones further down. So we've done a fair bit of work since we were last together. I thought I might as well kind of get you caught up as to what's going on here. I bring these are our big bud with our big Great Plains cedar. We're going to bring it over here to field 17. And we're going to put wheat in this field. So right now we've got a hired worker fertilizing the field. We spent all of yesterday, quite literally all of yesterday, with the big bud hired out to cultivate this field. So we've already put, if you recall, we put a layer of fertilizer down after we harvested. Then we cultivated, and now we're putting another layer of fertilizer down before we seed. And then once we seed, we will put a third coat down, and then we'll be done with the seeding on this field. As you can see to our right, our beans are ready to come in. So all of our soybeans on all the remaining fields are now ready to harvest. So let's, while this is unfolding, should be unfolding. There we go. So while this is unfolding, let's go ahead and look at that. So I have to toggle these because, quite frankly, cultivated and ready to harvest first stage look an awful darn lot alike to me. I like to toggle things to get the blinking action. Field 15's ready to go. Field 11's ready to go. Field 16 and the part of field 12 that we planted is ready to go. Now here I can see the difference in color, but here between these two, not so much. So sometimes people ask why I have the colorblind coating on. Well, it's just because the difference between this color and this color, pretty much the same to me. I can see a slight difference here, but between here and here, I can't really tell. So that's why I have colorblind mode on. It helps me figure things out. That's why I also like to toggle things. Helps me see. Helps me see what stage we're in and where we need to go. So what we're doing is obviously we're putting a second coat of fertilizer on here. Got a second coat of fertilizer on these two fields. Skipped a little strip. And it looks like we could put a third coat of fertilizer on this field, and we need to bring these two fields up to a stage of fertilizer. So at any rate, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get this guy lined up. We're going to pull up our GPS so we can make nice, clean, straight lines. Let's see. I'm going to do auto. Let's shift this guy over. Okay. And we're off to, we're seeding our winter wheat. So we're putting wheat in this field with an anticipation of an early harvest. Sometime in, oh heck, I don't know, sometime in maybe late spring, maybe early summer, hopefully at the latest. So let's talk a little bit about the pellet press and the pelletizing of the two grass fields, fields 18 and 19. So we got 180 some thousand, maybe like 184, 183,000 liters of pellets off of those two grass fields. It took quite a while to get those done. In fact, the pellet press was working the entire night. I tried to keep it running non-stop. You know, it had to be filled up several times with molasses and water, but I tried to keep both of those handy so that it wasn't waiting too terrible long. And it still basically took all night, including, you know, the part of the day, the evening, and the late afternoon of the preceding day to get that done. So that was a very time-involved process. And we got 183,000 liters out of that. So if we think about what we got as far as what would we have gotten out of bales? 183,000. Let's just use 183,000 as the value. Divide by 4,000 liter bales. So that comes out to basically almost 46 bales. And I can tell you, we got a heck of a lot more than 46 bales out of that field the first time that we harvested it. So I really have to say that I think you get a lower yield on the you get a lower yield when you use the pellet press than you do when you bale. So, you know, liter for liter, baling gives you more content. And when you think about it, if you feed your animals, your pellets, you know, if they need 4,000 liters of pellets, they're going to need a 4,000 liter bale. Well, you could have gotten a lot more bales out of those 4,000 liter pellets than one 4,000 liter bale. So you're best to not feed your animals these hay pellets, because you're pretty much wasting product at that point. Sorry, I still got a bit of a cough here and a little of a, I get some junk in my throat, so I'm trying to mute and clear everything. If all of a sudden I kind of stopped talking for a few seconds, it's probably what I did was clear the throat and didn't want you all to basically hear me coughing and hacking up something. So at any rate, what made me think about all this is yesterday I had to feed all our animals, and instead of putting a bale down for the sheep, I decided to feed the sheep some hay pellets. And if we look here, the sheep took about 3,000 liters of hay pellets. Well, at that ratio, those 3,000 liters of hay pellets probably would have been the equivalent of possibly 2.5 or 3 hay bales. So feeding them 3,000 hay pellets would have been the same as using up maybe 6,000 liters of hay, 8,000 liters of hay. So going forward, I plan on not using hay pellets to feed, because I have a feeling that I could have gotten a lot more volume of liters out of a bale than out of the pellets. Now I do plan on selling the pellets. I want to see what I get out of that, because I've got a sense that possibly the pellets, since it is a more refined product than just a bale, and typically you are rewarded for selling a more refined product. For example, if you could sell chaff, you would probably get a heck of a lot less for it than if you sell silage, and all silage is fermented chaff, aged chaff, if you will. So that was my thought on the hay pellets. We also obviously cultivated this field. We've got 4 fields ready to come in with soybeans. Now we've already done a sunflower harvest on camera. We've done wheat and whatnot harvests on camera. It's been a while, but we'll probably do one of those fields. We'll probably do one of the soybean fields on camera, doing some type of a roll. Who knows what we're going to be doing there. But I'll probably harvest the rest of the beans off camera, which means we may not have many episodes in mid-autumn, or we may not have too many episodes between now and late autumn, or now and winter. And that's simply because we've got the plan is to put oilseed radish down on the 2 fields that we harvested early beans and sunflowers off of. We're putting wheat in on this field, and I'm going to try to put oilseed radish down on all the other fields that we have, simply as a way of covering the ground, in theory, protecting the field from erosion over winter by having a crop in the field. The root systems will help hold the dirt together and everything. That's my theory on that. Plus we will get a fertilized state out of it. So like this field, we're going to use 3 fertilization states to get this field up to 3 full fertilization. On the other fields, the act of putting down the oilseed radish is a fertilization state itself. So it's a fairly cheap fertilizer, if you will. So that's what we're going to do. Of course, we've got to fertilize our grass fields, try to get them up to a good state of of fertilization for spring. So instead of just showing 3 or 4 episodes of today we're going to harvest this field of soybeans, tomorrow we're going to harvest this other field of soybeans, I figured we'll show off one and then just kind of come back. Maybe we're only going to have maybe 3 episodes between now and winter, simply because there's no real use in showing off harvesting soybeans. And to some degree, there's only so many ways you can harvest soybeans before you've done it all. So that's what we're going to do. On news of Midtown, USA, by the time you are watching this, which will be the second week of January, the map should have been out for a while now. I got word just last night that CCS 101 was going to be uploading the map to FS UK for testing just before Christmas. So hopefully that means possibly just after Christmas, sometime between Christmas and New Year's, Midtown USA should be released over at FS UK. So that's pretty exciting. So that by the time this video airs, you all should be playing the map. And I would love to hear comments about how you all are playing the map. What kind of strategies are you all employing? If you're using seasons, what duration of season length are you doing? If you're not doing seasons, that's fine. You know, I'm just curious on how you are playing the map. Always like to hear about how other folks are playing the map that we're doing a video series on. Are you going to do pigs? Are you going to do animals of any sort and such? And I'm really looking forward to winter. Really looking forward into winter on this map, and kind of seeing how a Midwest winter is gonna pan out here with seasons. Because if we look at our forecast here, we have 6 solid days of nice clear weather. This has got to be unprecedented for seasons to have so many days in autumn without rain. I mean, I know that I know the Wales Geo, when we were playing Churn Farms, is kind of geared toward a lot of rain. But darned it if it didn't seem like it rained every day over there in England. Or if it wasn't every day, it was definitely every other day. In early autumn, we had 3 days of rain out of 5. But in mid-autumn, we have sunshine the entire time. In late autumn, we have a cloudy day, a sunny day, and a rainy day so far showing up. So this has got to be unprecedented rare time. And it makes me kind of wonder what maybe winter's going to hold. Is a fairly dry autumn going to show us a fairly wet winter? How cold is our winter temperatures going to get? When are we going to get frozen ground? When are we going to get our first snow here in Midtown? Guess we'll just have to wait and see. But you can see the temperatures here. Tuesday, tomorrow, 72. By Friday, we're down in the mid-60s. By the following Monday, we're down in the upper 50s. So we can see a trending there of cooler temperatures. So we may see some pretty cold temperatures into our winter. We just have to wait and see and kind of figure out, play that by ear. Up, 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 up. I hit the wrong button there. So something else that happened early this morning, we got the notification that the silos down at the BGA have completed their fermentation. So we can start selling silage at any time we should wish. My initial plan was kind of to hold that off until winter time. We do have a fair bit of cash on hand. Yesterday, we did sell a few loads of compost, and that helped pad our bank account. We have subsequently taken all of the straw that we had stockpiled from spring, or from early summer, and taken it down to the compost master. So we don't have any more straw in our hayloft in the main farm. So if we're going to continue to feed the compost master, we're going to need to feed it manure, because that's about the only thing that we've got to feed it at this point. We definitely don't want to feed it bales of hay. We're going to need every bit of that hay for our for our cows and our sheep. Oh, let's. There we go. So it looks like we may need to jump over here in our fertilizer spreader and help him out a little bit. So in the meantime, we're going to kick this in. We're going to wait till we get over here. Once we get up here to a point where we can run across the field, we're going to basically have a hired worker take over the big bud, and we're going to run over here and help our fertilizer spreader out, because I think he's got basically one more pass down the long length of the field, and he probably needs to be filled up at that point, because he's down to 13%. Just look at these. Look at this coloring. All colors. Across the map. Quite a wonderful sight to see. We also sold several loads of milk the other day. Hire a worker there. Let him keep running. Over here. We'll take over for our fertilizer spreader. And then we'll go use that bulk silo again and fill this guy up. See what kind of cost that's going to take us. Cheapest way would be to obviously buy probably the fertilizer pellets, the plastic crates of fertilizer. But we might as well see, because we're kind of testing the map still, exploring the map. We haven't been everywhere. We haven't tried everything yet. So I'm a little curious to see what it's going to cost to fill this darn thing up using that the bulk silo. I guess we could always maybe use silage for the compost master. Seems a bit unorthodox, but you know, the compost does pay a very, very nice price. So one load of the compost, one 60,000 liter load of compost gets us about $140,000, I think. So that's pretty good. It's a lot better than what 60,000 liters of silage would get us. We're gonna need to turn around so we're on the right side when we open the door. Let's see which one of these fills us up fertilizer. 2305. Oh, it fills really quick. That. Alright, so 23, so that's basically 17,000 liters, if you will. And it's $17,000. I think the math's right there, right? 2,300 liters, what we had, and we had 20,000 liters now. So that's 17,300 liters. Am I thinking there that's correct? And if it only costs us almost $17,000, so that's say $1,000 per 1,000 liters, or $1 per liter of fertilizer. Am I doing the math right there, or am I completely off on that? I don't know. But that seems to be a perfectly fine deal for me. You know, I'm thinking about that, and I'm thinking it's a mighty fine deal. Alright. We just use GPS to continue our run here. And like I said, I think when we come back, we will be doing a soybean harvest. That'll probably be late. I don't know if it's going to be late today that we're going to do that, or if we're just going to go ahead and do some other field work after we're done here. We still need to fertilize our grass fields, so we may try to go ahead and get that part done in this game day off camera. I think when we come back, we'll be in day 7 of autumn, and we will be looking at fertilizing, or not fertilizing, but harvesting one of our fields. Probably have a hired worker down putting in oilseed radish down there just to get that process started. Then ideally we're going to probably do the rest of the soybean harvesting off camera. So that's kind of the plan that I've got going on. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please click this like button. If you're not a subscriber, please consider clicking subscribe. We do Let's Play videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday here on Midtown, USA. We are going to be doing map videos every Tuesday and Thursday. Also doing, now that the early access to the cancer research map has come out, I've been doing some live streaming on that. So look for live streams, maybe look for some recorded videos using the cancer research map. And that is the map from Mapper's Paradise, Skeleton Farms. And all proceeds, once it is available in the Mod Hub, will go to a cancer research foundation in England. So I encourage everyone to download that map when it does come out. Give it a rating for which you feel is fair. Be that 5 stars, 4 stars. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully you don't think it deserves less than that. I know I'm going to give it a 5-star rating once I can rate, or I can vote on the map. And I encourage you to check out PCSG and the Three Dudes Gaming Network. Both are really awesome websites. Both have folks that are really looking out to help you out, answer any questions you might have. Both sites also have open multiplayer servers available to members. If you want to play in an adult environment where you don't have to worry about somebody jumping in and basically running all of your tractors into the water, or selling off all the crops, or just dumping crops all over the place, running all over the fields if you've got crop destruction on. Check out the Three Dudes are the PCSG multiplayer servers. Both are adult oriented and for the serious farm sim gamer that wants to get in and enjoy and play farm sim in a cooperative environment. So until next time, guys, happy farming.